Right. So today we're diving into one of the most iconic books ever written, Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. If you're new to African authors, trust me, this is the book to start with. It was first published in 1958, and I dare to say that it is the story that put modern African literature on the map. So, who is Chinua Achebe? Simply put, the man is a literary legend. Achebe was born in 1930 in eastern Nigeria, and he is often called the father of modern African literature. His writing is all about the impact of colonialism and the tensions between traditional African society and imported Western values. Now, let's jump into the world of Things Fall Apart and meet our protagonist, Okonkwo. Okonkwo is the guy that everybody in the village of Umuofia looks up to. He's a wrestling champion, a wealthy farmer, and a fierce leader. But here is the catch. Okonkwo is absolutely terrified of failure. His late father, Unoka, was a laid back flute player who was always broke and was considered the village loser. Okonkwo is determined to be the exact opposite, even if it kills him. And spoiler alert, it eventually does. Achebe takes us right into the heart of Igbo society, where hard work, a strong community spirit, and respect for tradition are the main values that shape life. We get a window into this rich, vibrant culture through Okonkwo's household. His three wives and numerous children are like a microcosm of the community. In the beginning of the book, a teenage boy named Ikemefuna from a neighboring village comes to live with Okonkwo's family as part of a peace deal. Ikemefuna becomes like a son to Okonkwo and a brother to Nwoye, Okonkwo's eldest son. Everything seems to be going well at first, but things start to unravel when the village oracle decrees that Ikemefuna must be killed to appease the gods. Okonkwo is devastated by this decision, but he won't show it because he's worried about looking weak. Against his own better judgment and against the advice of his good friend Obierika, he takes part in the execution of Ikemefuna. The moment in the book when Ikemefuna runs to Okonkwo for protection, only to be cut down by the man he looked up to as a father, is chilling and haunts the reader and Okonkwo himself for the rest of the story. It's one of those moments where you are horrified by a character's actions, but you also get an insight into their inner motivations. In this case, the pressure Okonkwo feels to live up to his idea of masculinity. Soon after Ikemefuna's death, everything changes. White missionaries show up in Umuofia. The missionaries gently introduce Christianity, and while some villagers embrace it, others feel threatened. Okonkwo's son Moye finds comfort in Christianity, especially in the hymns. He finds a sense of belonging in the church that he never felt at home. Okonkwo, a man whose beliefs are deeply rooted in tradition, sees this as the ultimate betrayal and he curses and disowns his son. Things get even worse when the colonial authorities arrive on the heels of the missionaries and start to impose their own laws. Bit by bit, they dismantle the traditional social structures that govern Umuofia, and the once tight knit community begins to crack. The story jumps forward a bit at this point after a bullet fired unintentionally from Okonkwo's gun kills a teenage boy. Okonkwo is exiled from his home and spends 7 years living in his mother's village. When he finally returns to Umuofia, he is shocked. It's not the village he left behind. Many people have converted to Christianity and the community is divided. Okonkwo tries hard to rally his clan, but the divisions sown by the missionaries and by the colonial authorities have grown deep roots. In a moment of despair, Okonkwo kills a colonial messenger, hoping that his action will spark a rebellion. But he realizes he's completely alone. Nobody's ready to fight. In a devastating turn of events, Okonkwo takes his own life. This is an act that goes against everything his culture stands for and is considered shameful and abominable. It's a tragic end to his life and a powerful symbol of the failure of his resistance. So, why is Things Fall Apart such a big deal? For starters, Achebe flips the script. At the time he wrote, African cultures were often misrepresented or ignored in literature. Achebe set out to change this. He gives us a nuanced, honest portrayal of traditional Igbo life, its beauty, its flaws, and its struggles, and he's not afraid to tackle difficult topics. The book takes on huge themes: tradition versus change, masculinity and identity, and the crushing effects of colonialism. This quote from Obierika sums up the book perfectly. It's a powerful reminder that what seems like little changes to culture and tradition add up over time and can eventually erase and rewrite the very identity of a community. And let's not forget Achebe's beautiful writing. His style, which is simple and clear, is packed with African proverbs and folk tales that make the story feel alive. One of my favorite things is how Achebe highlights the importance of community. During Okonkwo's exile, an elder in Mbanta says these poetic lines: "When we gather together in the moonlit village ground, it is not because of the moon. Every man can see it in his own compound. We come together because it is good for kinsmen to do so." It's such a simple but powerful statement about the value of connection, something that is still highly prized in Igbo land today. So, if you're looking for a book that's gripping, thought provoking, and gives you a front row seat to 19th century Igbo culture, Things Fall Apart is the one for you. It's under 65,000 words, so it's a quick read, and Achebe's storytelling will keep you hooked from start to finish. So grab a copy, let me know what you think, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other reviews of African fiction. And if there are any books by African authors you would like me to review, put them in the comments and I'll be sure to hunt them down. Thank you for watching and listening, and happy reading.